I feel really bad, Marcel, for Team Canada in general. They don't really have anybody who can carry the flag for them. And Kyle Nelson was one of these guys that was brought in, had a little upside. People were excited about him. He's got an exciting style, and he just has not panned out. He's coming off what was maybe the most embarrassing point deduction in UFC history. That draw. Do you remember the draw against Du Ho Choi? Like, I forgot the point deduction happened.
I mean, conman Chris Toyoni took that point, right? I mean, that was
Yes.
like the most stupid point deduction I ever saw. So yeah.
They went back and they like slow-moed it to see
Yeah.
like where the head clash was, and everybody was like, like you could hear the announcers trying to figure that one out. That
Yeah.
Toyoni absolutely had money on Kyle Nelson. You cannot convince me otherwise. But if it wasn't,
I have a different read. He just sucks. That's what I always say. He just sucks. That's my different read. Sorry, man, but that's all right.
That's fair.
I'm not that much of a punk normally, but Chris Toyoni sucks.
He kind of deserves it after the record that he's had, but that brings Kyle Nelson to 1-4-1 in his last 6 in the UFC. That's his entire UFC tenure anyway. That's a rough run, man. A lot of people would have been cut by now, and that's where I think they're just straight up throwing him to the wolves here against Blake Bilder. Kyle Nelson, really physically strong, big dude. He's got a big hook on him. If he can land the perfect shot, if he can just overpower you, especially, even someone like Du Ho Choi struggled with his size and his physicality, that's not going to be an issue with Blake Bilder. Bilder is an animal. This guy is built like a brick shit house. He's tough. He can wrestle. He's undefeated. He's got submission upside. He's a black belt. And I was listening to my guy, JHK. Shout out my guy, JHK. He was doing an interview with Blake Bilder. And last fight, when I broke Bilder down coming into the UFC, I picked him against Shane Young, and I talked about how the last name Bilder is perfect for him because he just cooks his opponents over the course of 15 minutes. He gets better the deeper the fight goes. And he slowed down so bad against Shane Young. I felt so stupid, Marcel. I was like, here, I'm telling all these people he's going to be the guy pulling away in round 3. And here he is huffing and puffing, hanging on for dear life for this decision. Apparently he was like super jet lagged going into that fight. So I'm like, okay, like this all makes sense now. Last fight was the outlier. I'm going to stick to my guns. And I think Blake Bilder has exactly the perfect style to wreck Kyle's shit deep in this fight. He's got a history of getting finished after he gasses out in round 2 or round 3. And that's what I'm going for here, Marcel. I think Blake is going to handle this guy physically in the first round. And as Kyle fades, he'll be taken over. Give me like a round 2 or round 3. I guess maybe we should go with submission because that seems to be the way he likes to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if he like gets back control, flattens him out, and then just like pounds him into the canvas.